welcome and thank you for joining me for part 4 of my kayak restoration series. Now the inside's finished, I'm going to draw my attention to the outside, and the first thing I want to do is try to preserve what's left of the original gel coat. We are going to gel coat it after, but at the moment there's all these little fractures and cracks in it, and that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I think the first thing we're going to do is fill those in. So for this, I'm going to use some of this gel coat filler. It's a two-part thing. You simply just mix it up like we have been all the other stuff, really. Let's see if I can get the lid off. There we go. It's quite thick. Okay, so I'm just going to work this stuff into the cracks like you would any filler. Sand it back smooth. Fiberglass filler is used to deal with any imperfections. Well, I'm glad all that sanding's done, but now I've ended up with a really smooth, nice finish ready for gel coating, which is what I'm mixing now. It's another two-part thing. Just mix it like before and simply apply it with a roller. Now for this we're going to use a simple sponge roller and the gel coat mix in here. And the trick with this is to pop it on and work in small sections. Try to keep the coats nice and even. simply do a section like that, then with a dry brush just dust it off. Now it's a few days later, and that's taken literally 3 or 4 days for the gel coat to set. So now it's time to give it a coat with a good old fiberglass primer. This is the same primer we used on the inside. Now that's both sides undercoated, and I must admit I'm quite pleased how that's gone on. It's dried quite smoothly, and now it's time to get some top coats on. Now I've decided to paint the underside in white enamel, and I'm basically going to paint it just up to the waterline here, or where the seam is. So it's a few days later and I give it a second coat, and that white enamel's come up really well. So now it's time to paint the top. Now to do this I'm going to use the same blue enamel that we used on the inside. So that's all nice and dry now, and I've just finished off the seam with a bit of black tape. Now the stuff you're supposed to use is this heat shrinkable iron-on stuff. Well, that's no good. You're best off just using a bit of 25mm Gorilla Tape. Stays on much better, lasts almost forever. So now we're at the final phase of the refit. It's time now to put all the furniture and accessories we need on top of the kayak. I'm going to start with the front carrying handle, and I think work backwards with all the accessories and the fittings. Now to secure all these bits to the deck, I'm going to use these things. They're called well nuts. They're made of rubber with a brass insert, and as you tighten them up, they squash up and form a watertight seal. front mooring line is attached, then it's on with the front deck hatch. Next thing I want to fit to it is this sail. This will really help when paddling long distances. Now it has a top strap and 2 mounting points. So I'm just going to line them up and do something. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is tidy up the cockpit a little bit by putting some of this weather edging strip on. Then the rear deck hatch. The cradle for the trolley. And somewhere for my solar charger. Finally, the drain plug, rear carry handle and rear mooring. That's it, after a lot of hard work. She's finished, and I must admit I'm really impressed with how it's turned out, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me do it too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on... Hey, you what? I've not... What? Not done yet? What do you mean not done yet? They want to see it on the water. How could I not do it? Let's take her out.
is the moment. Did I ever tell you about the time where I... Okay. Got a spot of water. Look, she's a bit roly-poly. You're in. She's floating. Ooh. Okay. And here we go. And here is the moment. It works! She's tracking quite nice here, and she's staying nice and straight. Here we go. Let's give it a big, let's see how fast it goes. Yeah, that's pretty quick. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It really does go well, that kayak. I'm so impressed with how it's turned out. Which leads to another question. How much did it cost me?
First of all, the kayak itself cost me £5. Gel coat filler was £13.49. Gel coat top coat £22.95. Fiberglass resin came to £39.95. Rear deck hatch £14.99. Cockpit trim £9.99. I 3D printed most of the fixtures and furniture for the deck. The plastic came to £15.19. Fiberglass matting and sheet £43.59. Now, I already had the paint from doing up other kayaks, but the value of the paint was around £60. Consumables such as sandpaper and paintbrushes and any tools I had to buy for the project came to £56.96, making a grand total of £281.51. Similar touring kayaks online range from about £500 to £1,000, so I'm quids in.
So why did I go to all this trouble? Why did I spend months making a kayak that I bought for a fiver work again? Why did I make it into a tourer? Well, the answer is that in a few days' time, actually this weekend, the 20th of August, myself and a colleague from work, Rob, is going to be attempting the Coast to Coast Kayak Challenge, which runs from Liverpool 162 miles across the country to Gull. And we do it in the name of the Rainbow Trust Children's Charity that helps families with seriously ill children. So please join me for that. The Facebook site is C2C, as in C, then number 2C, Kayak Challenge. If you pop on there, you'll see daily updates of our progress, and will a kayak that I bought for a £5 and only been out in 3 times, a total of only 7 miles I've covered in this kayak, will the kayak and will me and Rob complete the Coast to Coast Kayak Challenge? Join me next time on Andy's World.
Follow us on Facebook at C2C Kayak Challenge, and if you'd like to make a donation, please visit our Just Giving site. Thank you.